Hello, this is Ilwon Yoon. For 2 years in ITP, I mainly use game as a medium for my work to bring people together and deliver stories. Now I believe game is a way to solve problems by bringing fun. And today I'm going to present my thesis project, Walking to the Moon. Walking to the Moon is a mobile game that turns walking experience into a game by bringing fun to motivate behavior change. Before getting to the point, I wanted to talk about my obsession, being healthy. I actually managed my health pretty well for a while, but things changed. The fact that I'm getting old, I don't have enough time to exercise, started impacting on my health. I found something that could motivate myself, Fitbit. Fitbit is a wearable device that can track daily activities like walking and running. Seeing my walking steps in numbers seems to be interesting at the beginning. But once after I learned my walking patterns, what Fitbit did was only providing data that I can anticipate, and this bored me out. Also, watching data sometimes made me feel uncomfortable in the way that I didn't do things that I should do. Feels like unfinished homework. There is another thing I didn't like, the badges. It's nice to get a badge on my achievement, but I can't convert these badges to anything valuable. It is a reward that doesn't reward me. Since I only tried one device, I decided to find other device to try. However, none of these apps and devices didn't make me motivate to exercise more. So I failed to motivate myself. What's the problem? First of all, watching numbers and graphs is not fun activity. Second of all, these apps and devices provide you information which gives you awareness. However, awareness is not an incentive for people to change behavior. For instance, measuring your weight gives you awareness, but this doesn't make you lose weight. So how to solve this problem, and what would be the best way to keep us motivated? My personal answer is make it fun to do, make a game. To design a game, I started playing a lot of games for several weeks. Among many other games that I tried, I found some of the apps and games that are similar to my concept, using game as a motivator to change behavior. However, I found myself drop out of those games really quickly as it wasn't fun enough or hard to play. It was hard to find a game that is fun and motivating. Then I started playing popular mobile games and I found one really interesting game, Clash of Clans. To play this game better, I need to purchase game money. And surprisingly, I found myself paying almost $30 in a week to play better. But it turned out it wasn't only me. There are tons of people doing the same thing. So this story tells me that people are willing to invest their resources as long as they enjoy the content. And then I ask a question. What if we need to walk instead of paying money to play better? Would people want to play this game? Let's figure it out.
I don't usually walk that much. I'm usually sitting behind my computer, but this game encourages me to walk more because I know that when I walk, I earn more points in the game. So I want to walk all the time now.
Let me introduce it again. Walking to the Moon is a mobile game that turns walking experience into a game. So the game idea started with a question. What if we could walk to the moon? What if our daily walking turns into a journey to the space? And this is where Walking to the Moon game starts. So how to get to the moon? By walking in real life and then playing the game. Who is this for? My target players consist of individuals who have experience in self-tracking device and apps, but fail to motivate themselves because of lack of motivation. And how does this game work? Walking to the Moon is linked to Moves API to track walking and running steps, and the collected data turns into a personal asset for the game, which means that your walking is part of gameplay. You walk, you earn more points for the game, in this case, stamina for your hero. So now I've walked enough for a game, so is this all of the gameplay? Just walk? Of course not. There's no great journey without challenge and failure. Therefore, there are enemies that are trying to interfere our great journey. Who are they? Based on the location, there are different types of enemies. In the atmosphere, enemies consist of everyday objects that bothers us in many different ways. In the space, there are aliens who don't like us invading their space. If you're not defeating them, they're going to take you down to the ground. And finally, here's the gameplay. So based on the enemies, the way to defeat them are different. You can touch or swipe them out. Sometimes you need to touch as soon as possible as they spawn more enemies. Or you need to tap 3 times to delete the Gmail. To win this game, you need to arrive at the destination before you are running out of steps. Otherwise, the game is over. The one I just showed you is the previous version of the game. Based on the gameplay testing feedback, I changed the orientation of the game to show the destination all the times. And now players can see the goals at any stage, but it's under development. Some people will ask how long would it take to get to the moon. In this game, the physical distance to the moon is not directly applied to the game map distance. Why? So this is critical design decision for me. The goal of the game is not to make you walk 240,000 miles, but to change the experience of walking to be more fun and empowering. And one of the following consequences is being healthy. So there are 150 stages. It'll take about 1 or 2 months to finish, and each stage requires players to have at least 1,000 to 2,000 steps to finish. So let's get back to our problem again. How does this game keep people motivated to walk more? As I mentioned earlier, seeing activity data wasn't fun because it feels like a work that I have to do for my health. Compared to this experience, this game focuses on what players earn and encourage them to earn more. With this game, once they start playing game, they will want to walk more to keep playing the game. Clear goal. We usually feel best when the challenges we face match our capability. In this game, challenges to achieve are made explicit and are designed to increase the difficulty. For instance, your game is over because of lack of stamina, but you still want to finish the stage so badly. Then now you have a simple goal. Walk for 5 to 10 minutes and get back to the stage where your game was over. The goal is finished. Now you walked more and closer to the moon. It's too bright. So your progress will be displayed in the game map. Let's imagine you can walk to the top of the Empire State Building. Whenever you pass a certain height, you'll get a message from the game. This is not only empowering your daily walking experience, but also turning it into something special. You're not just walking. You're going to somewhere exciting with every step you take. Reward. In this game, behavior change will be rewarded with game items. For instance, if players break the personal record of the step, they will receive a rocket that accelerates heroes' walking speed twice faster for 5 seconds. Different game items will be given to players to benefit their various behavior change. To bring players back to the gameplay, there is a notification system. Whenever players earned enough steps to try the next stage, notification will come out to remind players to play the game. This is final feature of the game, cosmetic items. Once players are engaged into the games, players want to customize their hero. To meet the desire, this game has lots of cosmetic items, such as space helmet and a dog you can walk with in the space. these cosmetic items can be collected in the gameplay. What would happen when we walk to the moon? What's next? Apparently, I need vast amount of playtesting for game mechanics to see the relation between the cost of walking and the desire to play more. Based on playtesting, I want to reiterate the prototype. And as you may notice, there is no sound. And also, I want to design more games that I have the same approach like this game. What can be filled into the blank? Thanks for everyone in our thesis group and Catherine, who is my thesis advisor. I also thanks to Nancy, who lead the creative writing class. I loved it. And thanks for Woonyung and Jaewoong helped me along the way. And for me, ITP has the most inspiring place that I ever been. I went to 4 or 5 different colleges, and this is one of my favorite. And I'm so happy to be part of the ITP, and I always will be. Thanks for all of you. Thank you.
Where are you going?
Too hot.
So in addition to walking to gain points to keep playing, do you also have to walk to gain the accessories like the space dog and things like that?
The game clothes can be get in the gameplay, not in the behavior change, but
Okay.
that's one of the consideration I was thinking about it. No question? John?
And this is sort of related to what's being talked about on the chef, but if you were given the opportunity to develop this game and you had to sacrifice gameplay or currency exchange through exercise, which would you pick?
That's the hard question. Yeah, I can answer it right now because that's one of the challenges I was always asking myself. But for this time, I decided to keep the gameplay more. So gameplay is the trigger to people back to the play, and that's the trigger that people wanted to walk more. But I was going for the other direction, that how can I just map all the walking distance into the space so people walk together to the moon. But for this time, I decided to do one other direction. It's too bright.
Too bright.
Yeah.
Well, then you can't be seen, but away in the back.
Any other question?
Have you, I mean, if the gameplay is most important, I mean, I guess that might already be the answer to this question, but the flip side of that is like, have you thought about ways in which you can kind of put this as like a lock system on something else? Like, you can't use your camera until you've walked another 100 steps, or I don't know, like other ways that system could be applied to.
So that's a good question. So actually, walking to the moon is one of my like a trial. I think I was interested in the idea the data is personal asset for the game. So there could be a different approach for the other games. So for this time, I decided steps because I think step is everybody get. So yeah.
On the question of motivation, I mean, where did you do research on motivation, or was this an intuitive idea about why this would be more motivating than other?
I was interested in personally in self-tracking devices, and I took the class with a Genbanmil. And even though I didn't put that much researches on it, I read a lot of papers, like including fun theories. But I don't know how to explain the presentation in short time, so I didn't put it in. Chris?
This is kind of related to Nancy's question, but you mentioned the game where you found yourself spending like $30 a week. Were you able to like kind of mine or figure out like why that game was so like engaging that you were willing to spend that money?
So now I have more time to explain. So Clash of Clans needs time to build the construction. So if you don't want to wait, you need to pay the money. And they give you free resources at the beginning just so you get addicted to it. And once after, you need to build faster, you just need to purchase. And idiotically, I spent $30 and I delete the game because that was the only way I can stop. Who else? It's 15 minutes.
What about